In the heart of Bangladesh, a tide of hope surges forward. Millions are heading home, to places where their names are written on a voter list. Their voices rise in song and chant, a chorus of a generation ready to be heard. To take part in an election that means more than ever before. For the people of Bangladesh, the country's 13th national election marks the dawn of a new political era. In the summer of 2024, a restless heartbeat echoed across the land. What began as a demonstration against job quotas quickly grew into something larger. A movement that challenged the very core of the system. The youth stepped forward, breaking through walls of fear, turning streets into arenas of dissent. What unfolded was not just unrest. It was a direct challenge to an entrenched order. This was then Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's official residence, now turned into a museum. Once a controlled, distant symbol of authority, became the final frontier of the 2024 revolt. Broken windows and shattered barriers, physical reminders of a boundary that no longer held. Inside these walls, power had long felt remote, untouchable, until it wasn't.
It's striking just how ordinary this room feels. This is a private bedroom of Sheikh Hasina, and most people would never have imagined being ever able to see it. But during the protests, people made it all the way in here, past the gates, across the lawn, through the front doors. And standing here now, it's hard not to think about just how quickly that boundary disappeared and how different power must have felt in that moment.
What happened in 2024 wasn't without precedent. Student movements have long played a defining role in Bangladesh's political history.
The discontents were there, particularly it started as a quota movement. We all know that because as I have always said that it was about the basic rights, the livelihood issues of the people. And the youth, the young were involved in it. And the system had become authoritarian, partisan. There was lack of transparency. And there was this aspiration for democracy, democratic movements, and something which Bangladesh is known for its youth movements, democratic movements.
This time, the epicenter was Dhaka University. The energy and urgency of the protests took shape. Here, students didn't just join the movement, they led it. Organizing rallies, sparking debates, and challenging the status quo.
It's not the movement for only 30 days, 36 days movement. It came from a long history because you know about the 17 years regime, the previous government, when we tried to express our thoughts, we tried to express our freedom of speech, we all are repressed and oppressed. That's why I think all the expectations came out in the, through the movement.
We all said that Sheikh Hasina as a dictator, and that's why after 14 July, 15 July, the students of Dhaka universities and the general students, we were protesting. It was not only a student movement, it was a public movement. And all the people of the country are protest against government.
Were you not scared in these protests because you know how dangerous it can be?
I was so scared, and my family members were too much scared of this. My family members always told that, please be careful, please be careful. don't go in front of the police. They will shoot you. One of my friends got shot and got shot on his head, at his head, and he died. Those moments actually traumatized me, and those are the shocking moments, because we general students never faced anything in front of us so closely. And when that happened, I couldn't sleep actually, because that was a so traumatizing moment for me. I never had seen them, and the anger and this emotion actually burst on the 5th August, and we got our second freedom. We can say the Bangladesh version 2.0.
When 5th August happened and you heard that Sheikh Hasina has fled the country, did you feel that you guys have won at this point?
I never imagined she will fly so soon. So it was surprising for me, but we were hoping that she has to go. And when we saw the news, I was feeling so happy.
But revolutions do not govern. After Sheikh Hasina fled the country in August 2024, an interim administration was formed, led by Chief Advisor, Nobel laureate Muhammad Yunus. He was tasked with stabilizing the country and restoring democratic processes. And so, fresh polls took place in February this year. With Sheikh Hasina's Awami League barred from participating, political forces, some long sidelined and others newly energized, re-entered the arena. For many Bangladeshis, this vote was about more than choosing a party. For the young people who ignited the protests, this was a different kind of test. 27-year-old Tanvir Ahmad was among those who marched in 2024. In the last election, he chose not to vote. He believed the outcome had already been decided. This time felt different.
How do you guys feel about this?
I didn't vote in that time because I know that was not a fair election. But this year, I want to give, I will go there and I will pick my party, who I like, which one I like. So
are you hopeful that things will change?
all the government, all the politicians, they should understand that if we students and if we general people will rise up, we can get down again. I really like the democracy. So that if the democracy happen in Bangladesh, I think that everything will be automatically properly, equally.
Tanvir's expectations are not unique. Across Bangladesh, young voters have emerged as a decisive force, and political parties know it. On the campaign trail, jobs, accountability, and reform took center stage. Because winning this election meant winning over the generation that reshaped it. In the weeks before the nation went to the polls, Bangladesh's streets came alive with vibrant energy. From Dhaka to district towns, rallies drew thousands, campaigns gained momentum, driven by the passion of young people. Flags fluttered, speeches resounded, and the desire for change grew stronger.
Bangladesh has a very bulging, vibrant youth population. How to address their expectations and demands has been something that's quite at the forefront of many of the debates around the election. But also, I think you have questions about what the future of the constitutional order, what the political order would look like. A lot is at stake about how to keep state institutions neutral, elections commissions neutral, judiciary neutral, about those kinds of things. So it's about, I think, economics, it's about social policy, as well as what the future of the state should look like.
As dawn broke on polling day, the atmosphere shifted from rallies to the quiet determination of voters lining up across the country. In Dhaka's Gulshan district, security was tight and international observers were present. This polling center became a hive of activity. Hundreds of journalists gathered as one of the most closely watched figures arrived to cast his ballot, Chief Advisor Muhammad Yunus. But beyond the cameras and headlines, it was young voters like Tanvir who embodied the stakes of this election. Tanvir returned to the school where he once played football, now a polling center for the 13th national election. What was once his playground had become a place to exercise his political choice.
I was very popular here because I used to play football here. From here, everyone knows me. It feels nostalgia for me when I see this field, because for me, this field is amazing. For me, this field is home. I left the school like in 2016 and again come back here for the voting, the 13th parliament election in Bangladesh. So I'm very excited to come here again to vote the right person I'm choosing the right person for the country, for the nation.
Inside, Tanvir waited patiently. Like millions across the country, he checked his ballot carefully before casting it. Moments later, the indelible ink marked his finger, a small but powerful symbol of democratic participation.
It was a very smooth journey. We all are excited to giving the vote. I think you seeing around all the people are excited to give the vote. I was decided, but still when I give, I was put in the number, like which party I will provide, I was think twice again.
That mix of certainty and hesitation reflected a broader mood. For many young Bangladeshis, this election was not only about choosing a party, but also about safeguarding the political reset they demanded.
It's my first time voting and I'm very nervous, and also I'm very thankful to this environment in my country. Corruption is a very bad thing. I hope for betterment for my country, less corruption, better education, better job opportunity, everything.
Specifically for this election, you can see a lot of the youths are participating in this election, which is very rare in Bangladeshi scenarios. I see this as a very, a significant part of Bangladesh's history in the future, because this is where people are very concerned about their political rights and how it can, make a better future for them.
I mean, it's endless, right? There's so many things that we really are looking forward to in terms of reforming the whole country. So let's see how well it goes, definitely.
Observers point out that digital connectivity played a crucial role. Youth voters mobilized online, monitored polling stations, and shared images throughout the day.
More than 40% of the electorate were youth, and majority of them were first time, they were able to cast their votes for the first time. And they had the technology in their hand. So they played a very important role. I mean, they were there guarding the booths. This showed the enthusiasm that is there. Both women, girls and boys were doing it. And they were taking selfies, they were taking family pictures.
As night fell, ballot boxes were sealed, and counting began. Election officials worked through the early hours, with preliminary tallies broadcast live across local television networks. By dawn, a clear picture was emerging.
That's right. So early and unofficial results have shown that the BNP has won a landslide victory in this election. Some of the reports saying that the BNP has secured...
With nearly 60% turnout nationwide, voter participation was much higher than the 41% in the previous poll. The Bangladesh Nationalist Party secured an overwhelming majority, winning 211 of 299 contested seats. Jamaat-e-Islami captured 68 seats. The National Citizens Party, formed by some student leaders after the 2024 protests, won 6 of the 30 seats it contested. The result marks the BNP's return to power after 2 decades. For supporters, it signals a democratic correction. For others, it is only the beginning of a far more difficult test.
This victory belongs to democracy. This victory belongs to the people who aspire to and have sacrificed for democracy. I call upon all democratic political parties that participated in the election. Your ideas and views are important to us in the nation-building process. Our paths and opinions may differ, but in the interest of the country, we must remain united.
On February 17, Tariq Rahman was sworn in as Prime Minister, formally ushering in a new government. For many young voters, casting a ballot has been the first step. They participated in large numbers. Now, they are watching the transition unfold. As the new government begins work, the question isn't just who is in charge, but whether life will feel any different.
You can see the whole of Dhaka from here?
Yeah, I can see the whole area, the place I grew up.
Yeah.
And
29-year-old Ruma Khatun is building a life in the city she has always called home.
And that's my friend's house.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm here, if she comes to the balcony, I get to see her. It has more spaces.
She works in the hospitality industry, focused on advancing her career in a sector that is competitive and fast-paced. Like many young women here, she is navigating expectations, balancing ambition with family pressure, independence with personal safety. She says she hopes this new political moment will open more space and opportunity for women like her.
This is my room, and this is where I live.
All your artwork.
Yeah, these are my artwork. And these were exhibited on the exhibitions.
Yeah.
Like, this one was like 2 years back, and this one.
Art, she says, is her way of expressing herself.
And this one is my favorite.
What began as sketches in her room eventually moved on to the streets. After the July 2024 protests, she joined other young people painting graffiti murals across the city. Today, they serve as visual reminders of what had unfolded.
If you see the arts, you'll get to know what happened. The graffiti works actually represents about the July, about the fights, about the young, that whatever happens in the country wasn't in the right.
Now, with a new government in place, she is watching closely.
We just got the elections. I'm still getting a mixed challenges on the feelings that what would be the consequences, as it's a mix with the young generations, the Gen Z. I'm really hopeful that people will have more freedom to talk about the truth, about the country, about the people, about the situation that's going on right now.
For Ruma, change begins with the freedom for people to speak their minds. But for many young Bangladeshis, it must also mean the freedom to build a livelihood. For decades, Bangladesh's garment industry has powered its rise, driving exports, lifting families into middle class, and opening the workforce to millions of women and young people. It remains the country's largest formal employer.
Our working population, not just working population as a country, working population in the factories is actually quite young. We need to make sure that these people who are entering our factories at 20, 21, 22, that allows them to move into management in course of time. For that, we still have a lot of work to do. What we have excelled in the past was building more and more factories, getting bigger and bigger, growing at 20 to 25% per annum. A double-digit growth like that is going to be difficult in this world. There are too many uncertainties in the world right now, so we cannot expect or assume that we will have double-digit growth. That means we need to improve our efficiency. In order to improve our efficiency, we have to train our workers. The garments industry doesn't need garment industry support. The garment industry needs the country to be competitive. The new government has to do everything in its power to make our country competitive.
Growth at scale is one challenge, but for young Bangladeshis, the question is far more immediate. Where do they fit in this economy? For Tanvir, the uncertainty feels personal.
So job searching is difficult because we are by the online we submit our application. So in that time we saw that lots of people are at a time submitting for the same position. So sometimes I think because last 1.5 years I was just applying every day.
He is part of Bangladesh's largest demographic, educated, connected, and impatient for opportunity. They raised their voices in the streets. They showed up at the ballot box. Now they are waiting to see whether that energy can be converted into employment, social mobility, and dignity.
So we got a new election, like free election, like we never faced this kind of election in Bangladesh. So we are really hopeful for our new government so that we can moving forward in next 5 years.
The streets have emptied. The celebrations have faded. Promises made to a generation that demanded something different now face their greatest test. A journey towards progress, taking every citizen on board.